Hey everybody, it's Michelle. Trying to decide which way market's going right now. It's most recently starting a nice little run up. I think basically it just had a bounce off a key level on the 15-minute chart. If you look at that, what I call the 222, most people probably track the 200. So it sold off pretty hard, hit it, and it's bounced up now. But yeah, it's reaching higher highs. These time frames out here are long. Like that's the 999, and I think the 1111. And last time it failed these levels. Let's look at the 60-minute real quick. It's pointing down, price is moving down. So here on this left side, you could see it came down to where the fast was and bounced up. But now the fast is not acting as a floor. It might be acting as a lid. I'm going to move that to there. Looking at an hourly basis. Kind of bummed I didn't short. But it could hold this as a floor right here. On a 15-second chart. That was a real nice little bounce up. It moved pretty quick too. That was a 9:18 a.m. I mean, in 10 minutes, it just marched straight the hell up. In that 10 minutes. So I'm kind of not clear as to why we're fading. Oh, God, this might hold. This is the midline right here. On a 15-second chart. I'm buying, not sure. I just know it just had a real nice little push up off in the last 10 minutes. And this midline could act as a floor. I'm going to move this up. I want it to hold the midline of that box there. Oh, come on. I think it could hold this as the fast moving average, that yellow. It could act as a floor and push up another notch. The thing is, those moving averages, those 1111 and 999, those are pretty long-term moving averages, and they acted as a lid pretty convincingly. Sliding up my take profit up the 9 EMA. For the longest time, I was always just make it, take it, grab it. Here's selling. Selling's kicking in. Why did I say that? Because the downward move through that wick. Maybe I chickened out. I'm not good at being a buyer and holding. They're selling on all these candles here. probably jumping the gun. So that was a big old candle to the upside. 9:30. Oh, why? It's a 9:30 a.m. So nobody wanted to put on a move at 9:30 because it's dangerous, right? A half hour. And I'm on the wrong side, I think. But there was selling there.
Order filled.
God damn it. Took a fucking loss. Me and my vocabulary. Alright. So the reason I bought was because there was a big nice move up the past 10 minutes. And I made money when I bought. But then for whatever reason, I decided to just flip over and sell. I guess because I saw those wicks, there was selling pressure on those wicks, so I decided it was time to sell, but I was unaware it was the 9:30 candle. So that was a mistake on my part. Not knowing what time it was. And look at that. I would have hit my target by now if I would have just stayed in that long. I tend to lean short. And here I am wanting to sell again.
Order filled.
But that could be a bad choice. Why? Because, like I said, we just had a good little push up for that 10 minutes. And then we just had another nice little good push up at the 9:30 time frame. I'm going to turn my stop off, which is very bad, girl. Not supposed to do that. So we got selling on two little candles here, which doesn't really mean much of anything. But let's just see. Again, there's a good chance I'm fighting people who like to buy. And I'm already at 150 bucks. Why do I do that instead of just going with the trend? Well, the trend has been down. What did I say since I started talking? I found a floor on that 15-minute, and everybody likes to buy all the time, so everybody but me likes to buy all the time. So on these hourly candles, it's been selling. This white line is the midline on the 60-minute. We've got a fast moving average here. This is making more sense. Around 470. That might be holding as a floor. Let's just see what happens. So 470 is this dark blue line here. Alright, and I might be on the wrong side of this. People tend to see what they want to see. You can see it's currently holding this fast moving average, but it's a 15-second chart. So therefore it doesn't really mean too much, but just be aware. I want it to fail, obviously, if I'm short. But like I said, it's just had a nice little pop up that 10 minutes up and then another little leg up. Yeah, I'm being out of control. I'm not managing this very well. So I'm holding that fast. Damn it. So is it what I was talking about, but I act differently from what I said? I think my brain is a little off because of starting the live stream. I get distracted and I'm talking, I'm not thinking. So for whatever reason here around the 9:15, everyone started buying. It's just reversion to the mean, buy, reversion to the mean, buy. Fast is pointing up, that's the yellow. The slow moving average, that's this cream, is pointing up. And I think that was how I started this live stream, was talking about it finding a floor. On this 222 on the 15-minute. It's done nothing but buy pressure, shooting up. But I'm also aware that on this whole thing down, it's just had a leg down. Down channel, found a floor. So here's the question. Is this a breakout buy or is this a great level to short? Oh, fuck. I'm giving away half my money. I'm not paying attention. One contract, 102, I think it was said 113 ticks out of the money. 9:37 a.m. There's some selling pressure on those wicks. We're above the upper Bollinger Band. Fighting the trend. Adding size. It's an attempt to average down so I could quickly jump out. But I literally just have a second or two of mercy, possibly, if this is going to be a big push-up. Currently 16 ticks out of the money. This could be a big blow-up in my face. There's some selling pressure on these wicks here. 16 ticks to, I think I saw 22. The body of those candles are all pushing up. God damn it. This is how you go from having a great trading day to a bad trading day, by adding size to a loser instead of just taking the loss. Like I said, I've got a few seconds here. I'm concerned it's 9:38 a.m. Why is this not turning around? We're in the zone for selling. This is why you got to hold it together. So my trade that was a big losing trade, because I had already been up 1,000, I could get out right now and take like a 3-tick win. And I might need to do that because my size is so big. Let's try to get it. Actually, I'll just draw my little thing here. So I'll have something. I'll get at least 2 ticks. But maybe I'll make my daily goal too. Because maybe I was right, but just early. I just went out. That was a lot. So that's like the only time, it makes sense to average out of a bad trade, meaning you pile on a lot of size, and it's just a function of math and the overall. I think a lot of people would tell me that's awful advice, but it's the way I do it, and it works most of the time. But the mindset has to be, this is a short term, you know, like less than 30 second, less than 90 second objective. And there needs to be a real good reason as to why. So for me, I didn't act greedy. I didn't decide to just keep holding it, which might have been a fantastic trade, but it doesn't matter. You need to avoid destruction at all costs. But I don't mind selling right now one at the low. It might sit here and hold this yellow fast moving average. There you go. Gave me a loss. 54 tick stop loss, $135 loss. I still think it could sell. I'm going to sell again. I'm going to turn my stop off. Why? Because what I just showed you over here. So this is the intersection of like the EMA and the linear weighted moving averages over the fast. I draw a horizontal line at that point of intersection. So like anything above here would be a great short. And that was at 8:35 a.m. ish. That was a great short on open. So the fact that it even sold on the open ought to tell you something. All right. So anyway, I draw these horizontal lines with a red dash to show where it's time to sell, and I do the opposite on the lower end when the fast moving average, that's this yellow line, crosses the blue line here. The blue line, I think, is the linear weighted moving average. When those cross, it's a sign of selling. So I can have confidence that this happened at 8:37 a.m. and then apply it to where I'm at right now. And it just gives clues. This is all, these moving averages are all clues. And look at that trade that was looking all sketch, right? It's all this green running up. I'm now up $400. Let me draw this down. Why have I not hit my daily goal? Why don't I have my Oh, so I didn't click this. All right, liquidate. So I was like, why isn't this showing me stuff on the screen? Okay, so I set my daily profit target to 1,555, my daily loss to 1,000, and it's going to kick me out of the trade. Sorry, I didn't have those set up properly. It probably got really close to it. In fact, that's probably why I got kicked out. It might have been my stop being triggered. I don't know. But I still want that extra $55, $65 there. So I'm going to dive back in, but that's just the way I'm doing it. So there's some buying on these candles. If you look at these lower wicks, it shows some buying pressure, but the body of the candle is still going down. Back here, it got to put another push up, but I think it's because of the time, because it was 9:30 a.m. Okay, I'll buy for just a little second. I'm going to leave my stop in place in case I get hit. Wait. So it already hit my goal. The end. All right. That was a $75 trade. And the thing is, with Top Step, you don't always see the trade on the chart. there's a lag. So anyway, I'm done with this account for today. That's what we're at. All right, I'm done. Have a good one. If you are a first-time watcher, thanks for being here. If you're a second, third, fourth, 100th time watcher, extra thanks for being here. Please like and subscribe. I'm trying to grow this channel, and the content's only going to get better. A lot of my focus has been on just trying to build credibility by showing my stats every day. And I know that that's not really helping you become a better trader just to hear me talk about my stats. Like, that's bragging. I'm really not trying to brag. I'm trying to build, I don't know, respect might be a stretch, but some sort of proof of integrity so that you can see that girl really live streams. She's actually showing her trades. She's actually showing her stats. So here, let's do that. On the day, net $1,563.80. Win rate 75.86%. My average win-loss ratio was 0.70. Profit factor 2.19. 29 trades taken. Average trade 1 minute 57 seconds. I was long 13.79% of the time. You can see the trade counts and the win rate. So pretty much, if my stop loss will get hit real quick, and you just know that was a bad trade. And that's where we're at. I had 6 days in a row being kicked out at the 1,555, and then on that 7th day, which was this Monday, I think it was Monday. Oh no, maybe it was Tuesday. I don't remember. One of these earlier days this week, I was trading and just kind of, I couldn't believe that I kept losing, and I kept adjusting my daily loss limit. Because my trades, I would put them on. I did a lot of buying while Nasdaq was cratering and falling really hard. I was fighting the trend. But when I would put on my trades, they would be up. And I got in my mind, like, cool, I'm up $1,500. Let's just let this winner run. But no sooner would it, like, kind of revert to the mean, and then just more massive selling. That just repeated 8 or 9 times in a row, and I killed that account. It was literally almost the exact same thing every time. So don't fight the larger trend. Or if you are, you need to be very quick to protect your gains. Ultimately, those trades could have mostly worked out. My win rate's pretty good, but you have to protect your gains, especially on a hard selling day. Or, you know what I mean? When there's a trend going against you and you're fighting the trend. All right, that's it. Those are my stats. I'll take the screenshots in a minute.